Hi students, how are you all? Hope so you're all fine. This is our session 1 biology class. In this we are going to see about classification of animals. This is your chapter 3 and let us get into the lesson. So the synopsis, what are the topics we are going to cover under this is introduction, the classification of animals, how it has been classified, based on what it is classified, and the invertebrates, vertebrates, and last we are going to summarize it. So here all the animals and plants are grouped under 5 kingdom classification. Why it has been given? So we have a lot of organisms in this world. So to avoid the confusion and to differentiate plants, animals, unicellular organism, multicellular organism, so this 5 kingdom classification has been given by a scientist called Robert Whittaker. Here in this 5 kingdom classification, he classified the plants, animals, fungi, algae and animals under 5 groups. So they are kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom fungi, kingdom Plantae, kingdom Animalia. So this is a 5 kingdom classification given by Robert Whittaker. So under kingdom Monera, he classified the bacteria, which is a unicellular and prokaryotic organism, and kingdom Protista, here he classified the unicellular and the eukaryotic organisms like amoeba, paramecium, euglena. They are altogether called as protozoans. And the third kingdom fungi, here he classified the fungi, that is saprophytes, which is going to grow on the dead and decayed matters, and the example bread mold, toadstool, yeast, penicillium. And the fourth kingdom is kingdom Plantae. Here he classified the multicellular, eukaryotic and autotrophic organism in the sense which is going to prepare its food by itself. It's called autotrophic organisms. So here he grouped Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophytes, Gymnosperms, Angiosperms. So all these are the classification of kingdom Plantae. And the next is kingdom Animalia. This is a multicellular, eukaryotic and heterotrophic organism. Heterotrophic in the sense which is going to depend upon the others for its nutrition. It's a heterotrophic organism. So this is what the kingdom Animalia. So the animals can move from place to another in search of food and shelter, and this movement is called locomotion. So the animals which is going to move from one place to other place in search of food and shelter. So this movement is called the locomotion. Here classification are given in the flowchart manner. Organisms, basically the organisms can be classified as prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryote means it's a unicellular organism with unorganized nucleus. Eukaryotes, it's a multicellular organism with an organized nucleus. Unicellular, the organism which is going to contain only one cell, and the eukaryote which is going to have the, multicellular, which is going to carry out a many number of cells. And so Monera comes under the prokaryotic, and eukaryote, unicellular, multicellular. Eukaryotic unicellular comes under Protista. Multicellular with cell wall, it can be classified as phototrophic and heterotrophic. So with cell, autotrophic is Plantae and heterotrophic is fungi, and multicellular without cell wall is Animalia. So this is what altogether classification of organisms. So here now we are going to get into the lesson, the classification of animals, that is animal kingdom. So the animal kingdom can be classified majorly as invertebrates and vertebrates. Invertebrates, chordata, non-chordata. Invertebrates, non-chordata. Vertebrates, chordata. So here, based on the presence of cellular tissues and organs, the invertebrates can be classified as phylum number 1, Porifera. Phylum number 2, Cnidaria. It is based on tissue level, and based on organ and organ system level, it can be classified as acoelomates and coelomates. It is nothing but the body cavity, the hollow region, the body cavity which is present. Some of the organisms does not have the body cavity. They are number 3rd phylum Platyhelminthes, and number 4 is Nematoda. And some of the organisms which is going to have the body cavity, they are classified as phylum Annelida, phylum Arthropoda, phylum Mollusca, and phylum Echinodermata. So these are the 8 phylums that comes under the invertebrates, that is non-chordata. What is invertebrate? Invertebrate, organism without backbone. Next, vertebrate. It can be classified as 5 classes based on the presence of backbone, that is class Pisces, class Amphibia, class Reptilia, class Aves, class Mammalia. And here the Pisces can be further classified as cartilaginous fish and bony fish. So this you will be studying in your higher classes, and now we are going to study only about the classes and just the introduction of each and every phylums and classes. So invertebrates, vertebrates, invertebrates, animals without backbone, and these invertebrates are classified under 8 groups based on the presence of cells, tissues, body cavity, and coelom, as I said in the previous slide. So let's see detail about the 8 phylums with examples. Phylum number 1, Porifera. Porifera, pore-bearing organisms. So Porifera, it is a pore-bearing organisms, and it is a multicellular animal, multicellular in the sense which is going to have a many number of cells. Hollow tube contains many pores on the body wall. So the body consists of a hollow tube, and there is no single mouth, but many pores are present in the body, and it has a single large opening at the top, which is going to act, or which is going to excrete the excess water out from the body. Okay, so a single large opening on the top is the exit for water, and these small pores are going to drive in the water, and it's going to take its prey, and the remaining water is exit out. Example, sponges. I've given you the picture here. Number 2, Cnidaria or Coelenterata. So cnidarians are 2-layered body wall which encloses a single cavity known as coelentron, in which the digestion takes place. And this body is tube-like with only one opening, that is called mouth, and that mouth is surrounded by a finger-like projections called tentacles, which is going to helpful in the locomotion and also to catch the prey for its nutrition. And this body is radially symmetrical. Example, sea anemone. Radially symmetrical in the sense any line passing through the center will divide the body into 2 similar halves. This is called radially symmetrical. So the body of sea anemone, that is Coelenterata, is radially symmetrical. Sea anemone picture is given here. And the next, 3rd phylum is Platyhelminthes, and these are small, soft, flattened, unsegmented worms. It has only one opening, it's called mouth. The alimentary canal is going to open, that is only one opening, it is a mouth, and they are mostly parasites, but few live in sea and fresh water also. Example, flatworms. I've given some more examples over here. Flatworms, flukes, tapeworms, etc. Next is phylum Nematoda. The phylum Nematoda is also called as roundworms. So they are long, cylindrical, and unsegmented with a fluid filled or a body cavity, false body cavity. So they are long, cylindrical, and unsegmented with a fluid filled or false body cavity. And the alimentary canal opens at 2 ends. One is mouth, another one is anus. And some are parasitic and some live in soil. Example, Ascaris, which is a parasite which lives in the intestine. And the next is eelworm, which is live in the soil. Next is phylum Annelida. These are segmented worms. and the body is cylindrical and divided into ring-like segments, and the body is well developed for its digestion process. So it has a well developed digestive system, and here also it has two openings, mouth and anus, example earthworm and Nereis. And the next is phylum Arthropoda. Arthropoda means jointed leg. Okay, the animals, the organism which has a jointed legs is called a Arthropoda. Here the phylum has the largest number of species in the animal kingdom. So these animals have a jointed lips, one pair each, and it has a hard covering called exoskeleton, that is chitin layer. The organism is surrounded by a hard covering called chitin, it's an exoskeleton, and the casting off and the regrowing of the exoskeleton collectively called molting. So molting process also takes place here. Molting means casting off or regrowing of the exoskeleton. So this Arthropoda is further classified as class Crustacea, Myriapoda, Insecta and Arachnida. So this classification is based on the presence of the head, thorax and abdomen. So if you see Crustacea, they have a hard chitinous exoskeleton. The body is divided into head, thorax and abdomen, but the head and thorax are fused together. So the best example for Crustacea is crabs, crayfish, etc. And the next is Myriapoda. Here the animals have many segments, and these segments are one or two pairs of limbs. So the trunk is not divided into thorax and abdomen. Example centipede and millipede. Next is Insecta. So this is the organism, that insects that we are seeing in our day-to-day life daily. Example housefly, mosquito, beetle, grasshopper, butterfly, etc. So here what is the difference of this Insecta when compared to the other classes like Crustacea, Myriapoda and Arachnida? Means the body is divided into head, thorax and abdomen, and thorax has 3 pairs of jointed legs. Usually 2 pairs of wings are present, sometimes no wings also. In some insects there won't be wings, and some insects it contains a pairs of wings. So this is what the difference between the insect and the other classes of Arthropoda. And the last one is Arachnida. Here the body of arachnids are divided into 2 parts. The front part consists of the head and thorax fused together, and the hind part consists of the abdomen. So 2 parts, one is front, another one is hind part. Front part, it is a combination of, that is fusion of head and thorax together, and the abdomen is present in the hind part, and it have 4 pairs of jointed legs. Example spider. Okay, and they lack wings and antennae. So this is what about the Arthropoda. And the next is phylum Mollusca. Here these organisms are soft and segmented with a hard calcareous shell present in the body. So they are very soft and the body is not segmented. So for the protection it has a hard calcareous shell, and it has a muscular foot for the movement. Example snail, octopus, etc. And the next is the last phylum, phylum Echinodermata. It is a spiny skinned organism. Here also the body is unsegmented, but it has a spiny surface, and here also the body can be radially symmetrical. Example is starfish. So this is all about the 8 phylums which comes under the invertebrates. And the next we are going to see about the vertebrates. The vertebrates are the animals with backbone. So the animals with backbone are called vertebrates. It has 5 classes. They are Pisces, Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and Mammals. First is class Pisces. It is have a streamlined body shape, that is tapering at both the ends. Streamline means the body of organism is going to taper at both the ends for the free movement in the water. And the locomotion is carried out by the fins. The body is covered with the scales, and it is going to breathe through the organ called gills. So the body is streamlined and the locomotion is taken by the fins, and the body is covered by the scales. They are the cold-blooded animals, and they breathe through the gills. Example, fish. Next is class Amphibia. So here the organism which can live both in water and land. So these organisms always lays eggs in the water. It will not lay the egg in the land. And the body is covered with a slimy and slippery skin. They also breathe through lungs and skin. So the breathing process carried out by two organs. One is lungs, another one is skin. That is, when the organism is under the water, it's going to breathe through the skin, and when it is going to be on the land, it's going to breathe through the lungs. Example, frogs and toads. Next is class Reptilia. Reptiles are completely adapted to life on land. So their eggs have a leathery shell, and the skin is dry and scaly. They are going to breathe through lungs. Example, lizards and snake. The movement of this is crawling movement. The movement takes place by the reptilia as a crawling movement. And the next is class Aves. Body is covered with feathers, and they have wings to fly, and it have a horny beak and no teeth. Okay, so example, hen, pigeon. The next is class Mammalia. The body is covered with hairs. The special character of Mammalia when comparing to the other classes are they can able to give birth to young ones directly. They are viviparous in reproduction. So, which is going to give birth to young ones directly. And they have a tail and four limbs. Examples, human, dog. So, these are about the vertebrates, 5 classes. And the next is final summary. So, here we have studied about the 5 kingdom classification. Animal kingdom, which has been classified as invertebrates and vertebrates. Invertebrates further classified as 8 phylums, and vertebrates classified as 5 classes. So for each and everything, how it's going to be differ from other organisms, everything we have seen in this chapter. So please children, after going through this, you just go through your book. If you have any doubts, just mark it and keep. And very soon I'll meet you with the next video. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.